Om Sadashivasamārambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Parampara Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheswara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saviryam Karavavahi Tejasvinavadhitamastu Mahavidyushavahiti Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So already we have completed 16th chapter. Now we are in 17th chapter. So as all of you know, so we are in the last portion of Bhagavad Gita. The first, Tvapada. Second means the chapter 1 to chapter 6, predominantly Tvapada. 7th to 12, Tatpada. And 13 to 18, Asipada. So when the central theme of this last portion of Bhagavad Gita is self-knowledge. So mainly, I'm sorry, I have to put a little bit of battery. I think battery has gone out there. Sorry. So mainly, even though the central theme of Bhagavad Gita, and that to this last Shatakam, last 6th chapter is Brahma Vidya. But however, the 16 and 17 is exception. So we have seen in details how the 16th chapter dealt with this Daivasura Sampad Vibhaga. So why this was being focused, again 17th chapter also will continue in the same way, okay? Because we need to understand. I remember, lifestyle is equally important. Lifestyle is equally important for the self-knowledge. Suppose I want to study physics. I don't have to have the ambience, atmosphere of me being a physicist. I can be a crook in high startup, okay? Still, I can be called a physicist. We had a crook, okay? So, missile. So, the people also possible, don't worry, okay? So, we have all sort of characters, don't worry. And also, unfortunately, yesterday we lost a great person, M.S. Swaminathan, okay? So, who brought the revolution with reference to food. So, who contributed a lot to the world. So, yesterday he left his body. So, coming to the point that in order to become a physicist, I don't have to have a lifestyle related to physics. Is it clear? In order to be a, chemical engineer, I don't have to have a lifestyle related to chemical engineering. And the best example, in order to become an architect, I don't have to have lifestyle of architect, okay? I can be anything. Just a joke, okay? But here, the Brahma Vidya to understand, I need to have a lifestyle. Without lifestyle, Brahma Vidya cannot be understood. That's why Purva Bhagaha, yesterday in the summary I was talking in details, Purva Bhagaha, Karma Kanda is bulky. Whereas Jnana Kanda, the knowledge aspect, is as small as possible. Because if the lifestyle is not there, knowledge will not enter. Now, with this background, now let us look at how this Arjuna asked this question. So that let us read so that it becomes easier for us. Arjuna uvacha ye sastra vidhimutsrujya yajante sraddhayanita tesham nishtha ka Krishna sattwamaho rajastamaha. Arjuna is very smart. Why and how? Because in the previous chapter, Lord Krishna highlighted Tasmat Shastra Pramanam Te Karya Karya Vyavastito Gyatva Shastram Vidhanuktam Karma Kartum Iha Arhasi. Kartum Iharhasi. So when Shastra becomes the Pramana, means the source of what is to be done, what is not to be done. Only Shastra, nothing else. Now Arjuna comes forward, a very careful question. And that is how everybody expects. Okay. That is how every student does. Okay. How to corner the teacher. So whether teacher, sometimes whether teacher understands or blabbers. Okay. Whether he knows the truth or not. It's a very funny way to observe. Okay. Because I can relate with the person who is in the same level, okay? Maybe little bit can be higher, and that too. In one aspect, maybe he or she can be higher. Other aspect must be lower or in the same. You understand? Now, Arjuna also is doing the same thing. That's why whenever you get a chance, some of you, okay, you also start teaching me, okay? I also stupidly listen to it. True, true, true. It's like, no, when child sees something new or understands something little bit new, and comes and starts teaching parents. What parents do? Yes, yes, true, true, to good, good, encourage. But the child thinks, look, I know better than my parents. However, let us not get into too much. So he asked this question, what he says, look, that katu nishtha, straight he puts. I don't want to go around. Katu nishtha. So what is the status? And why is it? Yes, sraddhaya anvitaha. This is the word. Yes, sraddhaya anvitaha. So those who are endowed with shraddha, too. But this but is dangerous. But utsrujya shastra vidhim. So what they do? Give up, but they give up what is prescribed by the Shastra. Means they don't follow Shastra. Let us go as it is, then we'll see in details. What does he want to communicate? Yajante, while performing rituals, ka tesham nishthaiti. So what is their standpoint? And that too, Sattvam, is it Sattva-guna? Rajas, is it Rajaguna? Or tamas, is it tamas? Oh Krishna. And this is how everybody expects it. Swamiji, you have to tell me yes or no. And the worst part is, already they have assumed what I should say. So if you have already assumed, you have confirmed, then why are you asking this question? Better don't ask, don't open up your stupidity. Do not keep quiet. At least for that, I have respect for you. So here, Arjuna has already confirmed. his answer. Because when Lord Krishna used this word very carefully, with reference to karya and akarya, with reference to karma and akarma, with reference to any sort of activities, Shastra is only prama. Other than Shastra, nothing is going to work. Now, Arjuna's thinking is being challenged. So when Arjuna's thinking is being challenged, now he wants to challenge Krishna indirectly. You can see this challenging part. So how does he challenge? I would like to know, because he has gone through so much teaching, he cannot challenge in a rough way. So very sophisticated way. I would like to know, what is that? That is one of the question is what? Katunishta. What is the status? The one who performs the rituals means the person who does different duties, but at the same time having sraddha. So full of sraddha, but not keeping with Shastra. So that means what? There is a plus point, there is a minus point. So what is the plus point? The person is completely endowed with Shraddha. Don't ask me what is Shraddha, okay? I cannot translate. I'm very clear. So if you ask me at this moment to translate Shraddha, I said, okay, I don't have any Shraddha for you, okay? That's all. This is my translation. However, so the person is full of Shraddha, but person does not follow the scripture. Why? We can see the probability. What does he mean? Please understand. If the question comes, the person does not want to follow the scripture, Lord Krishna would have answered directly. Get lost. You understand? But because the question is very tricky, there is plus point, that person is full of Shraddha. At the same time, there is minus point, that person does not follow the scripture. So why the person does not follow the scripture, that we need to understand. Because the person is illiterate. So we have to understand here. So Shastra illiteracy, scriptural illiteracy. Because the Shastra is written in Sanskrit. The commentary is in Sanskrit. Everything is in Sanskrit. To understand that, you need some Sanskrit jnana. So it's not that easy. So many people do not understand this. Even though we called as Bharatiyas, especially. So what is Bharata? Bha means Brahma Vidya. So those who are Rataha, revel in Brahma Vidya, they are called Bharatiyas, not Indians, okay? So Indians was created by Mahatma Gandhi. Confusion, that fellow. We must bring that fellow. Because in fact, I was going through an article. Most of the problem that has happened in India are happening. The root cause is Mahatma Gandhi. Very unfortunate. Now articles are publishing left, right, everywhere. So Bharatiyas, I'm using the word, means Bha means Jnana Brahma Vidya. Rataha, those who revel in Brahma Vidya, they are called Bharatiyas. This land is supposed to be land of spirituality, land of knowledge. Supposed to be, okay? But nowadays what happens? This called secularist approach, okay? So if you can bring a secular person does not follow scripture, will you categorize in which category? There's a question comes in the TV channel. We say get lost. We don't have time to waste with secularist. Please understand. A Swami does not have time, must not waste time with a secular person. Like, hey, if this is the case, I'm just stretching a little bit. Oh, some Swamijis call all religious meet. I'm also going to do it. Okay, don't worry. Okay. So, hey, look, all religious meet is what? To have fun, okay? Not to communicate anything, not to arrive at anything, okay? It is just for publicity, wasting people time and money just for some mileage, nothing else. I'm very clear, okay? When I do also, I'll tell there itself, okay? It's a waste of time, but let us know that we are wasting time and coming together. Whereas, oh, all religions lead to the same goal. Please. It doesn't work. But here the question is very clear. Because of scriptural illiteracy, now the person is not able to follow the Shastra. But the person is having full of sraddha. You cannot question the sraddha at all. Now please tell me, whatever action he does, including puja, because Yajante performs ritual the best. Now, will you categorize them in the category of sattva, sattvic puja, or rajasic puja, or tamasic puja? I remember for this question very nicely. I met one of direct disciple of, Swami Ananda Saraswati Maharaj. So long back. So he had some 2 or 3 sannyasis disciples. So one of them met. A very nice person he was. So those days, I was a little curious. I asked him one question. I said, Swamiji, as you know, there is no scriptural background for Radha Krishna. This is the exact question I had asked him. Radha Krishna worship. There is no scriptural support. But I see here, you have a small Radha Krishna statue. So how you look at this? In fact, he said, the way I have been brought up still continues. He never said me whether it's right or wrong. Now, when I look at that answer, now with this background, let us read what would be the answer of Lord Krishna. So please read, because I don't want to take much time to extend this. Sri Bhagavan Uvaja Trividha Bhavati Sraddha Dehina Sa Swabhavaja Sattviki Rajasi Chaiva Tamasi Chetitam Srunu. So because Arjuna has the question that what the question regarding Shraddha, and Lord Krishna answers that there are 3 types of Shraddha. That's why this chapter name is called Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. So there are 3 types of Shraddhas. Now, Lord Krishna being a teacher, he does not want to answer right or wrong, as that Swamiji gave me answer. Because he knows already I am prepared that there is no scriptural support for Radha Krishna. And if he says anything, definitely I am going to argue, I am not going to leave him. So what he did, the way I was, I am continuing. Now with this, do I have any answer? Okay, Swamiji, let us have food. In fact, we did the same thing, okay? We had done our prasadam. That's all. After that, I have never asked this sort of question to him. Now, in the same way, these are the no, when you start studying scripture under a teacher, that's why the teacher's thinking must be your thinking. You cannot have parallel thinking. If you have parallel thinking, that means teaching will not enter, is not synchronized yet. It doesn't work. Oh, I don't want to be replica of the teacher. Don't you think it is dangerous? So that means you don't have sraddha. It's very tricky. Why and how, you can see. It becomes easier, this chapter. It will open up many things in you further. So he says, look, trividha bhavati sraddha. So if you look at, there are three folds of sraddha. And for whom? He says, dehina. So dehina means for all human beings, for all common people. Dehina. So not for wise people, for all human beings, for all common people. Now he says, look, not only that. So this sraddha is threefold. And what are they? One is called sattvic, second is rajasic, and third one is called tamasic. Now he says, srunu tam. More you hear about it. And interestingly, sa swabhavaja. This is the most important point. It is born out of one's own nature. That means Lord Krishna did not answer directly. Now, why it is not answered directly? If you observe mind, in the next verse it will come further. If you observe mind, either it listens to somebody externally, or it listens to your likes and dislikes. Any action that you perform is because of the guidance of someone, or you call inner culling. What is inner culling? Insecurities. Like, we have one person said, one cretin, okay, oh, she is my soulmate. So we have also in Pondicherry, okay. So Pondicherry is called soulmate area, okay. So what is that soulmate? So I don't know whether SOUL or SOLE, okay. So we have to find out what is that. However, let me not get into too much criticizing. So here, when a person does, let us say, puja. Now, in puja, you need to follow Kalpasastra. It's a beautiful point to observe. It's not that simply, no, okay, because though technically I have to point out. So Kalpasastra means where it says, where padayo padyam samarpaya. I do offer some water for feet, To wash the hand, I offer the water, argham. And when to offer akshat also is very careful. You have to do it. Okay, that's very important thing. First thing is when you want to study Kalpasastra, where to use akshat. Akshat means that rice. Okay, that is most important thing. Do you know why? Suppose you are supposed to offer Swarna Pushpam. I'm talking about big thing, okay? So you are supposed to offer golden flower. You don't have what you do? Swarna Puspartham Akshatan Samarpayami. With few rice, you can replace the golden flower. You understand? For anything and everything, you can replace with what? Rice. But remember, with Dakshina, don't do that. The priest is very careful and clear. Will say, look, don't worry, keep some akshata, I'll manage everything. So if you are smart, okay, for everything you are hearing what? Vastrartham akshatan samarpayami, puspartham akshatan samarpayami, sometimes naivedyartham akshatan samarpayami. Then this person understands than and akshatan. Then he says, what? Dakshinarthan akshatan samarpayami, does a long namaskara. So what will happen to the priest? Priest will say, never I'll do your puja. Not tathastu, it will be other way around, okay? So in short, when I don't follow Kalpasastra, now what I'll do? I will follow my mind. Is it clear? So if today my mind is good, that day puja will be good. If my mind is not okay, that day puja will be, you know. So that means what? You have sraddha. Not that you don't have sraddha. But because you did not follow the Kalpasastra, supposed to be done chanting, you have to do chanting. Supposed to offer these other things, you should, you must. Whereas you don't have time, I cannot, I will not. Good, nothing wrong in it. But when you start following your mind, now the puja will be decided based on what? Based on your mind. So if your mind is good, puja becomes good. If your mind is okay, puja will be okay. If your mind is bad, what will happen to puja? Don't worry, it waits some more time. I can have one more coffee. You understand? It starts with puja starts. Let me have one more coffee. So puja can wait, but coffee cannot wait. You understand the concept? Whereas once you start Kalpasutra, following Kalpasutra, what choice you have? That's why Lord Krishna could have answered very safely. If you say a person who follows Shastra and having Sraddha, now please categorize them. Is it sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic? Lord Krishna would have said, closely his eyes. Closing his eyes. Of course it is sattvic. Because Shastra always leads a person towards sattva guna. Please understand that. Shastric injunctions always leads a person towards sattva guna. So when the Shastra always leads a person towards sattva guna, definitely a person who follows Shastra and having Sraddha does anything has to be sattvic. There is no choice. Whereas if the Shastra goes somewhere, if because of illiteracy, not because of smartness. So because of smartness, if you don't follow Shastra, means you will not have Sraddha, like secular people. Nowadays, present we call it pseudo spiritual. It's a new word now, okay? Pseudo spiritual. So they believe in spirits. We have a group in India. I'm sorry, I don't want to bring their name directly. They are supposed to be the pioneer of Veda. Huge organization, very old organization. In fact, we call them as pseudo Veda followers because they have twisted Veda differently. They don't believe in gods, some abstract sense of God. And in fact, they are against Hinduism. When they talk, open their mouth, they talk against Hinduism. And without Hinduism, Veda cannot survive. Without cultural practices, Vedic knowledge cannot survive. So also this is pseudo spiritual people. So they don't believe in God, they believe in spirit. Which spirit? You understand? They call, we are spiritual, but we don't believe in God. So these people definitely neither they have sraddha, nor they follow scripture, but they call themselves that we are sattvic. We are full of energy. Best example is pranic healers, okay? Secondly, our, what is that group? This Kundalini fellows. We have a list, okay? I can bring a list if you want. So, what is being highlighted here is that now I need both the Shraddha and Shastra, but now Lord Krishna doesn't want to answer directly. What does he say? Let us read the verse number 3. It becomes easier. Sattvanurupa sarvasya Shraddha bhavati bharata Shraddha mayoyam purushaha yo yat sreya. Sorry, I made a mistake. Yeah, yo yat sorry, what is happening? Okay. Yo yat shraddha saeva saha. Yo yat shraddha sa eva saha. See, Sattvan rupa sarvasya shraddha bhavati bharata shraddhamayam ayam purusha yaha yat shraddha sa eva saha. He says beautifully, oh Bharata. So because you happen to be in the lineage of Bharata, that's why you are Bharata, and we all are Bharata. Why? Because we are supposed to revel in Jnanam, Brahma Vidya. Sarvasya, for everyone, Shraddha is Sattva Anurupa, Sattvanurupa Bhavatiti. So Sattva means not Sattva, okay? Sattva means mind, according to the temperament. So that means for everyone, Shraddha is according to your temperament. So that means, that's why he says beautifully, Ayam Purushaha Shraddhamayaha Saeva Saha Yat Shraddha iti. So that means a person consists of his or her Shraddha. And of course, his verily, what is his Shraddha? Means the person is not different from Shraddha. And Shraddha comes what? From where? So what is the location of Shraddha? Is mind. Why and how? We will see later on. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, all of you.